Hi, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. In this video, we examine two techniques. First, how to remove a hat from the Addi machine using waste yarn rather than the usual bind-off. Second, how to fix a drop stitch after the work is off of the machine. I'm ready to bind off the crown of my hat, but down here I dropped a stitch. And so I'm going to show you one of the ways you can fix it. And this way involves starting with another color of yarn called waste yarn. I'm just going to knit enough rows to get this knitting off of the machine. So let me break my main yarn. And there it is. And I'm going to act just as though I was changing colors for some fashion purpose, but I'm not. This blue yarn will be thrown away. I'm going to knit around for a few rows. 2 is the absolute minimum. More makes it easier. Alright, I'm about to run out of waste yarn. I didn't have very much, so I just used what I had and knitted 2 rows some places and 3 in others. And now the nice thing about the waste yarn bind off is that you can just keep knitting and the work will naturally come off of the machine. But as you notice, I'm out of yarn and it's not off yet. That's because it takes 2 rounds to complete what it's going to do. And there it goes. Alright, let's fix this dropped column of stitches. I'm using a latch tool. This is a bulky latch tool for a flatbed knitting machine. You can buy one or you can make one yourself from a flatbed knitting needle. A bulky one would be best, and just use it to latch up each rung. This is like chain stitch in crochet. I have a book called Cool Tools for Machine Knitters that's available on my website that shows you how to make a very nice latch tool. And that's the last stitch. So now I put the latch tool underneath the right side and the left side of the next good stitch, and I pull a piece of yarn around it. Now I'm going to pull these down, or the left side down, through the stitch from the back of the fabric, and when I pull this side down through the back, I can knot it on the back and no one will ever be the wiser. Let me show you how to gather the crown when we took it off on waste yarn. Here's my yarn tail, and I can't find my yarn needle, so I'm going to use a latch tool to go in and out of a few live stitches leading up to the tail. But the effect would be just the same using a latch tool, of course. And start pulling the tail through. Okay, those few stitches are safe. And here's a few more. Now they're on. And I will go all around the hat doing this. Make sure that you get the actual top of a stitch. See, this is between a stitch. This is actually the closed top loop. If you look closely, you won't make a mistake, but if you're being quick and casual, you might. Alright, I'll see you when I'm the rest of the way around. Now I've got my main yarn threaded through every live stitch at the top, so I can just unravel my waste yarn. And if you are a thrifty soul, you can even recycle this waste yarn. Wind it back up and use it again. And although I might be one of the cheapest women alive, I don't find that I usually do that. But I have in an emergency. Alright, let's get rid of all of it. And now we just draw the top in and behave as per normal. The reason that I did it in this instance was so that I could fix a dropped stitch that was somewhere in here. And it's just easier to do that before the bind off at the top is complete. However, there are other reasons that you might want to use waste yarn. For one thing, leaning over the Addi and picking up stitch by stitch is tedious and hard on the back, and this is less so. So all I've got to do is knot this and tidy up some ends and weave them in, and I will have an attractive Fair Isle hat made on the Addi.